To everyone in my last video who said, I feel like I'm losing my mind, how do I get out of the void? You are not losing your mind. You are losing the version of yourself that you kept safe to stay in survival mode. The void is not a punishment. It is a spiritual coma, a holding of space between who you were and who you are becoming. You don't get out of it. You move through it slowly, intentionally. And you start small. Get sunlight on your skin. Feed your body something real. Say one kind thing to yourself out loud, even if you don't believe it yet. Chuckle at that because that was a hard one for me. Don't chase your purpose in this phase. Just stay grounded, present, consistent. You're reprogramming. Your soul is reconstructing a reality that isn't built on trauma. And yeah, it's going to feel like madness because your old world is collapsing and the new one hasn't taken its form. But that disorientation, that is proof that you are leaving the loop. So you're not failing. You are being rewired. The void isn't where you lose yourself. It's where you finally stop running from yourself.
demonstrated that if we look down at a fire, picture a fireplace between us here, if we look down at a fire, around a campfire or the like, all the stem cells in our bodies turn on. We tried to figure out like how are stem cells being activated by the fire, and turned out that it had to do with not just the fire and its presence, but our eye trajectory too. If I looked past the fire and didn't look into the fire, my stem cells didn't turn on. But if I dropped my gaze away from the horizon and looked down at the fire, my stem cells turn on. And I believe it's a story of, instead of chasing the future on the horizon, we need to look down into the energy that is between us. This fire that sits between us, we look down for a moment, become present. Instead of future looking to that horizon, we become present enough to sit in stillness and watch that vibrational experience of a red coal glowing and pulsing in the night. There's something in that remembers ourselves. And it was around those fires that we sang our first songs, danced our first dances, and told our first stories as humanity. And that runs all the way to today. The place I have felt as an earthling for the first time in my half a century, it's in the African bush, around fire, listening to African drums, hearing the vibration of voices and tongues that I had forgotten existed. And in remembering that, I find my humanity again. I realize I am from here. I do belong here, and I am of this place. That is remembered around a fire looking down. And so gather around a candle or a fire, whatever it is, and start to tell stories again of things remembered, or of yesterday if you need to. But start telling a story around flame. And that is maybe your journey back into growing a piece of food yourself in your backyard. There's going to be a deep remembrance of you of, this is what peace feels like. This is what that pause does. Staring into the flame, you can find the silence necessary to find that guiding sense within you that we call intuition.